Hello students, in my last video, that is video 21, we have read about the present tense. In this video, we are going to learn the past tense and the future tense. So let's start. It's basically a recap. Last video also you people have learnt about tenses. What are tenses? A tense is a form taken by a verb to show the time of an action. The word tense is derived from Latin word tempus, which means time. A verb that indicates the time of an action, event or condition by changing its form is known as tense. With this introduction of tenses, we will proceed to learn what are tenses and what are the basic rules of tenses. Again the same thing we have learned last time also, that tenses are further divided into three main categories: present tense, past tense and future tense. These three are further divided into four parts. So let's start with the past tense. The verb that refers to the past time is said to be in the past tense. The past tense is further divided into four different kinds. First, simple past or past indefinite. Second, past continuous or past progressive. Past perfect, and the last one is past perfect continuous tense. Simple past tense. If I talk about the rule for simple past, let me discuss the formation of the tense first before the rules. In positive sentences, or you can say in affirmative sentences, we are going to write subject plus second form of verb. Simple past tense is always formed by using V2, which is second form of verb. Out of 12 kinds, this simple past is the only tense where we are going to use second form of verb. Always keep in mind, this simple past tense is the only tense where second form of verb is used. Example, she worked yesterday. That means a time yesterday, and that is why we used second form worked. Clear? In negative sentences, it's very easy to form because we are going to use did plus not. In simple past, we have used do and does as helping verb. So in past, we are going to use did, and since it is negative, it will be not. So the formation will be subject plus didn't or did not plus verb, and this time we are going to use V1 because we have already used V2 in did. As the verb of do goes like do, does, and second form did, and the third form is done. Clear? Since we have already used did as second form, so we are not going to use another second form of verb in the same sentence. So we are supposed to write the base form, which is V1. She didn't work yesterday. If you people are writing she didn't worked yesterday, this will be wrong. So the answer will be she didn't work yesterday. Then moving further, it will be interrogative sentences, where again we are going to use helping verb first or helping verb before the subject. So the formation will be did plus subject plus verb. Again it will be base form, or you can say V1 plus object and question mark. It is did she work yesterday? Question mark. Again I am reminding you people that you are supposed to put question mark. Don't forget to put question mark at the end of interrogative sentences, else it will be wrong. So on the left hand side you can see verbs to be. It's very simple, as we are going to use was or were in simple past. Only was or verb, no other form. So they were friends, they were not friends, and they friends, like that. Let us see the usage. To express completed action in the past. This is the first and the most important use. To express completed action in the past. Whenever in the past specific time has been given to you, at that time we are going to use simple past tense, and the action which is completed. I saw a ghost last Friday. So here we are talking about last Friday. That means action is actually completed, and that too at a particular time. So we have used simple past. To describe a series of completed actions in the past. Now second uses to describe a series of completed actions. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. So here I finished work, then I walked to the beach, and then I found. So three actions are taking place. That is why it has been termed as to describe a series of completed actions in the past. To express habits in the past, as in simple present tense, we express habits of the present. So simple past tense is used to express habits in the past. When I was young, I watched lots of television every day after school. So here I am talking about my past habit when I was young. For stative verbs like have, own, be, think, know, dislike, need, or wish. He had a small cottage in the woods. Next, second is past continuous tense. It is also known as past progressive tense. The formation for the same is subject plus was were plus V1 plus ing plus object. As I have already told you that in continuous, if anything is in continuous, that means V1 plus ing. Since it is past continuous, it will be was were plus V1 plus ing. These two are very important. Was or were plus V1 plus ing. If it is singular, we are going to use was. In my last video 21, while telling you people about present tense, I have already discussed what are pronouns and what are singular and what are plural pronouns. So was is used with singular pronouns like he, she, it, or any name, which comes under the heading noun, and were with I, we, you, and they. So in this example is she was cooking all morning. Negative, she, subject plus was or were plus not. As we know that we form negative sentences by using not. So here the main focus should be on was or were plus not plus V1 plus ing. Example, she was not sleeping when he came home. Next is interrogative. Again the same pattern. Helping verb will come before the subject. So here helping verbs are was or were. Was or were plus subject plus V1 plus ing and then question mark. Was she sleeping when he came home? Now let us discuss how we are going to use it. First is to describe parallel actions. Very important thing. When two things are going simultaneously in the past, so we use past continuous tense. When two things are going simultaneously in the past, then we use past continuous. Or example is, while I was washing the dishes, I heard a loud noise. While I was talking to you, my phone got switched off. Second, to describe what someone was doing at a particular point in time. I was working in the garden all day yesterday. Third, to express interrupted action in the past, the action which goes on continuously in the past. I was driving to work when I crashed my car. To describe repetition, he was always complaining in class. Next is past perfect tense. Now, past perfect tense indicates the finished or completed actions of the past. Let us see how we are going to form past perfect tense. For simple or positive or affirmative sentences, it will be subject plus had plus third form of verb plus object. In present perfect tense, we have used has or have plus third form of verb. So in past we are going to use had. So this is very simple one, because we are only going to use had whether we have got singular subject or plural one. Whether we have I, we, you, they, he, she, Ram, Sham, Geeta, with all the things we are going to use had. Example, the players had lost heart before the match finished. Negative, subject plus had not plus third form of verb. The players had not lost heart before the match finished. Interrogative 1, had plus subject plus third form of verb plus object and then question mark. As usual, helping verb had will come before the subject. Had the players lost heart before the match finished and then question mark. Let us see its use. An action finished before another past action. Very important use. Here the past perfect tense is used when, or basically it expresses an action that had already been completed in the past before the beginning of another action. Action finished before another past action. For example, when we arrived, the film had started. So before our arrival, the film had started. So the work which is finished before, there we are going to use past perfect. It's very important rule. Action which is finished before another action, at that time we are going to use past perfect tense. For example, Tanya had solved the sum before the teacher wrote the complete question. That means Tanya had already solved the question or already solved the sum, and while the teacher only wrote, or the teacher was writing on the board. Next is unreal things in the past. It's just like conditional. I wish I had gone to bed so late. How long to a point in the past? When he graduated, he had been in London for 6 years. Now, this slide actually shows you about simple past versus present perfect. It's very important, because now you all are going to question me that simple past means the work done and present perfect means the work done. What is the difference between the two? So let us read what is the difference between the two. Simple past is formed with subject plus second form of verb plus object. Whereas if I talk about present perfect tense, I or we use subject plus has or have plus third form of verb. Clear? In simple past we do, in present perfect has, have plus third form. So this one difference is about the formation. Let us see in use what is the difference. Simple past always expresses finished time. This is very important. It always expresses finished time. For example, we lived in Japan from 1995 to 1998, whereas present perfect tense describe unfinished time. For example, I have worked as a teacher since 2011. Clear? Next is refers to definite time. This is again very important difference. Whenever we talk about simple past tense, we always refers to a definite time in the past, whereas present perfect refers to the indefinite time. That means when we are not sure about the time but the work has been done, but the work is finished, then we use present perfect. But when we are sure about the time, at that in that sentence we are going to use simple past. For example, I saw the Eiffel Tower in 2007. So here I am quite sure about the time that in 2007 I saw. So that is why I have used simple past. I have seen the Eiffel Tower. Again the same thing, but here time is not given. So when we are not sure about the time, in that case we are going to use present perfect. Indicate series of finished actions. Simple past, as we have learned that it always indicates series of finished action. One by one action has been done. First he read the book and then he watched the movie. So before watching the movie, what he did? He read the book. Expresses experience or result, whereas present perfect tense always expresses experience or result. For example, she has already watched this movie 3 times. She has already. So wherever words like already, just came, at that time we are going to use present perfect tense only, or you can say perfect tense only. Clear? Let us see the last kind of past tense, past perfect continuous tense. Again, like present perfect continuous tense, the rule has been mixed up with subject plus had plus been plus be1 plus ing plus object. They had been playing tennis. Again, don't forget to put for or since. Negative, subject plus had not plus been plus be1 plus ing plus for or since plus object. They had not been playing tennis. Interrogative, had will come before the subject since had is the helping verb here. So the formation will be had plus subject plus been plus be1 plus ing and then question mark. Had they been playing tennis? At the end it will be question mark. Let us see where we are going to use past perfect continuous tense. First is to describe a past action already started and continued up to another action or time in the past. So since we are dealing with past only, everything has to be started somewhere in the past and has to be ended in the past only. The boys had been playing soccer for about an hour when it started to rain. Second, to express the duration before something in the past. We are going to use it to express that duration before something in the past. For example, Richard needed a holiday because he had been working hard for 6 months. It means that here it is going to denote an action that before or that began before the time of speaking in the past. Third is to describe the cause of something in the past. He was tired because he had been jogging. So this is the cause, and that is why we have used past perfect continuous tense to describe the cause of something in the past. He was tired because he had been jogging. So with this we have understood the past tense. Let's begin the future tense. As the word future tense, it means that we are going to, or this tense indicates or is going to indicate future time. A verb that refers to the future time is said to be in the future tense. This future tense is further divided into four kinds. First is simple future or future indefinite. Second, future continuous or future progressive, future perfect and future perfect continuous tense. Let's start with the simple future tense. Let us discuss the formation of the sentence. Subject plus will or shall plus V1, bare form of verb, or you can say the base form of verb is V1. Now, it's very important here to note that we use shall with I and we, but these days while speaking, use of shall is reduced to zero. We don't use shall. Have you ever heard somebody saying, I shall go to Thailand? No. So, while speaking, we very rarely use shall. We always use will. But always keep in mind that both shall and will denotes future time. Will is used with first person pronoun, that is I and we, to denote determination and willingness. Let me give you an example. My parents will definitely support me. And if I talk about shall is used in the first person to denote an offer. For example, shall I invite my friends to the birthday party? So here I am going to ask someone. I am going to ask for the suggestion. That is why I have asked shall I. Clear? So let us see the negative form. Subject plus will not or shall not, which is very rarely being used. That is why we haven't written it. Plus V1, which is the base form of verb. I will not go to Thailand. Interrogative. Subject plus will or shall, which are the helping verbs, plus subject. So again helping verbs are placed before the subject. Will or shall plus subject plus V1 plus object and then question mark. Will you go to Thailand? Question mark. Let us see where we are going to use simple future tense. First is for actions decided at the moment of speech. For example, I have a toothache. I will take some medicine. Since I am having toothache, so I have to take some medicine. That is why we have used I will. Second, for unplanned future actions. The actions which are sure to come, which are not planned at all. Winters will come soon. Third, for offering, asking for a request, promising, ordering or threatening. I am afraid we will get wet. Fourth, for unpreventable actions in future, actions which we cannot prevent. For such actions we use simple future tense. Again, summer will come soon. Next uses with conditional, time and purpose clauses. You all have read conditionals and clauses in class 8. With that also we use simple future. When I arrive at home, I will call you. So simple present plus simple future. This is one of the conditionals. Last is for thoughts, predictions, assumptions, sureness, fears about the future. For example, I promise I won't tell this to anyone. Let us move further. Next is future continuous tense. How we are going to form it? Future continuous tense is or is formed with subject plus will be or shall be plus V1 plus ing. It will be I will be singing in the concert tomorrow. Subject negative form, subject plus will not be plus V1 plus ing plus object. I will not be singing in the concert tomorrow. Interrogative, will plus subject, or you can say will slash shall plus subject plus be plus V1 plus ing plus object and then question mark. Will you be singing in the concert tomorrow? Let's read the use of future continuous tense. First is to describe interrupted actions in the future. When you come tomorrow, they will be playing tennis. Second, to express actions in progress at a specific time in the future. So we know at this time in future this thing will be going on. At 12 o'clock tomorrow we will be having lunch at school. Third, to refer to actions that are happening now and expected to continue in the future. Unfortunately, sea levels will still be rising in 20 years. Next is to ask a question politely about the future. Will you be bringing your friend to the birthday party tonight? Again, question mark. To emphasize future plans or intentions. He will be coming to visit us next week. Next is to describe atmosphere in the future. Example, when I arrive at the party, everybody will be celebrating. Some will be dancing. Last, to express parallel actions or series of parallel actions in the future. Again, example, she will be watching TV and he will be cooking dinner. Let's move further with future perfect tense. Let us see how we are going to form future perfect tense. Subject plus will plus have plus V3 plus object. So it is will have. He will have done it by this evening. Negative form, subject plus will plus not plus have plus V3 plus object. You can also write shall not plus have. Clear? That is also right. He will not have done it by this evening. Interrogative form, will or shall plus subject plus have plus V3 plus object, and don't forget to put the question mark at the end. Will he have done it by this evening? Question mark. Let's see where we are going to use future perfect tense. First is to talk about an action that will finish before a certain time in the future. When we talk about an action that will be finishing at some point in the future, we are going to use future perfect tense. By 8 o'clock tomorrow, I will have taken off for Japan. To talk about an action that will be completed before another event takes place. So this is the second use when we talk about an action that will be completed before another event which actually takes place. Example, she will have learned Chinese before she moves to China. So before moving to China, she will have learned Chinese. Third, to express conviction that something happened in the near past. For example, the guest will have arrived at the hotel by now. Last is future perfect continuous tense. How we are going to form it? It will be subject plus will or shall plus have been plus V1 plus ing plus object and full stop. I will have been eating vegetables for 3 months. Negative. It is subject plus will or shall plus not plus have been plus V1 plus ing plus object. I won't have been eating vegetables for 3 months. Interrogative. We form interrogative by placing helping verb before the subject. So helping verb in future is will or shall. Will slash shall plus subject plus have been plus V1 plus ing plus object, and at the end it is question mark. Example, will you have been eating vegetables for 3 months? Let us see where we are going to use it. First is future perfect continuous tense is used to show that something will continue up until a particular event or time in the future. For example, James will have been teaching at the university for more than a year by the time he leaves for Asia. Second, to talk about something that finishes just before another time or action. For example, I will be tired when I get home because I will have been walking for over an hour. So this we have told before reaching to a place that I will have been tired or I will be tired when I get home because I will have been walking for over an hour. Thank you. I hope you must have understood now past and future tense. Worksheets will be shared with you soon. Thank you.